What's up, my friends? Hope you're well. I'm still kind of getting over this crud I got from the cruise ship. Oh my gosh. And I promise, as I said in my last video, that I will get on and I'll do another video with better audio quality on the stem. Sorry about that. But we'll get to that. Wanted to get on something that was on my mind because I was just watching a video. Somebody was talking about, what libraries you should submit to and stuff. These are things we're going to talk about. And I'm going to share a resource, another resource when we start looking for libraries. I'm going to go over that video. I'm going to share something with you that will help. And in fact, I've shared it before. It's just been a long time. I know you get a lot of people that talk about Googling music libraries. Well, Googling music libraries can be a very hard way to go if you don't know what you're looking for. You can get yourself into a rabbit hole. But there are things you obviously should look for. We're going to talk about that as well. The one thing I do want to talk about is if you're submitting to libraries, music, and some that you're currently signed with that are getting you placements, understand one thing about production music and sync licensing. It's a whole different world than being caught up into a so-called hit song or something that you're passionate about. Understand one thing. This is production music, my friends. You cannot marry yourself to it, and you have to. Biggest advice I can give you is this. You have to be extremely open-minded. I mean, wholeheartedly open-minded with your production music when you submit this music. Because if you have a good library that comes back and submits notes and things they want to adjust or change, give them those changes. Do not resist them. Please don't do this. I know some of you are out there thinking, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not freaking... No, you need to do that. Because the only way you're going to proceed and progress and get better in this business is that you understand this mindset. This is a service industry. Yeah, you got to be a chameleon, folks, and I hate to tell you that. You got to be. You're going to be doing things you never thought you'd be doing musically with styles of music, and that's okay. I'm learning that is actually a good thing. It has made me very open-minded to a lot of things. It's made me kind of explore into genres in a hybrid way based on what I already do. Hence, you've seen me doing some dramedy music. I've got 3 more tracks to finish an album that I'm going to submit my first dramedy album to one of my libraries. And hopefully they'll take it. That'll be a good indication that we're off in the right direction. I've got to do a couple of dramedy tracks for another library to actually get approved for that genre. Because there's only 2 genres that library approved me to write for. But I have to go through a process, take 2 tracks and get them. If they approve it, then I can write for that library. That doesn't mean everything I send them they're going to take. I guarantee you that. But they come back, that particular library comes back with notes, and I make those changes. And sometimes I overlooked a couple of seconds on the stinger ending. I mean, they're that picky. They really are. And a part of this business is revisions, man. You're going to have to do it. You got to be open-minded in every aspect of this business. You got to, be looking ahead, but you have to focus on the task at hand. It's a different world than writing hit songs for people. And as I said a while back ago, you can flip that switch and you can do it. It's okay. You got a lot of people say, there's no way I could do that. Or, I said a while back ago that, sync licensing production music is not for everybody. It really isn't. And not everyone is doing it. I enjoy it. I love doing it. And I know people that do both. And you can do it. So be thinking about that. Another thing is, if you are looking for libraries, you have to understand some things. You have to really do some strong research in that library. Make sure they're placing music that you do. Now, there's a caveat here. If there is a library you're submitting to that takes music that you do, it's not always the case that you're going to take your music or even right off the bat. It may be a few reasons. It may be the music isn't ready, or maybe something about those tracks they didn't want, but it also something about your style of it they may not want. Just because if someone refers you to that library and you two are doing the same type of tension music, let's say, there's several different genres, there's several different subgenres of tension music. You guys may be doing crime tension. Then maybe your style of it might not be their cup of tea, and that's okay. There's such thing as being a fit for a library and building a relationship with them. Be thinking about those things, Know what you're searching and where they're at, When you're looking at a library, make sure you're not looking at like Universal Music as a whole and trying to contact Universal, because they only deal with labels and sub-publishers. You gotta do your research on what is and what isn't. And I will tell you that most of these big entities, these BMGs, Warner Chappell, Universal, APM, they're not going to take your music directly. Extreme Music, they don't take your music directly. You've got to contact a label that is approved with them, that submits music, that has a contract with them. Big difference. I write to some of those people. I write to a company called Primal House Music through a small label. I've got music in BMG through a small label. So keep these things in mind. There's a lot of good labels out there that have a specialization in certain types of music, or they specialize in things that are really good, or there's genres they won't take. You got to research those guys. So we'll get into looking for that later, and I'll show you a resource I started out using that you can subscribe for the first year or two, but you won't always need it. I ain't subscribed to it in ages, but it's there. I think one edition of it from a couple of years ago that may still be relevant, but it's a really good company, and it's going to save you the grief from having to Google everything because you're looking at this stuff. But you have to really, again, understand what you're looking at and what you're searching. And I can't stress enough that you have to have some courtesy. You always need to email and ask questions before you submit music. What is their submission protocol? Not really more or less what is it that you need, because these libraries need a lot of music. And you will learn that. But just be cognizant of these things. But my whole premise of my video today of talking is you have to be extremely open-minded. You have to be a chameleon. You have to be willing to go that extra minute, that extra mile, do that extra thing to do some of these things. And be that player that you have, that you need and should be in this business. And it will work out for you. It really will. So anyway, I'm going to get on, and I'll get on with more vids as soon as I can. Start feeling a little bit better here. I just was driving some, and it was on my mind. I want to talk about it. So until then, we'll see you on the next one. I thank you guys for watching so much. Be cool.